The Japanese guy named Nituo has been living alone for 15 years because he's afraid of going to work. Neighbors mock him as a shut-in. His routine involves sitting at his desk, typing on a keyboard, and playing games. Even the carpet is worn out from his computer. But in reality, Nituo is not simple. His story is quite extraordinary. Let's start from 15 years ago. In 2009, Nituo graduated from Japan's top university, the University of Tokyo. Fresh into society, he applied his resume to a television station, hoping to work in his favorite field of TV program production. After several rounds of interviews and internships, Nituo realized he simply couldn't adapt to the workplace atmosphere. The complex interpersonal relationships were driving him to the brink. He found himself afraid to go to work, much like many Japanese Hikikomori. Slowly, he moved into his own little nest, abandoning the prestige of the University of Tokyo, choosing to withdraw while supporting himself through writing. Initially, his ideas were idealistic. He wanted to turn his rich part-time job experiences into stories. However, after finishing, he realized his work was just a casual expression of personal thoughts and simply not accepted by the market. He decided to start drawing. He believed that if his words had visuals becoming manga, then surely people would read it, but he couldn't draw at all. In manga professional Japan, to say this was simply daydreaming too unrealistic. But Nituo really did use the last of his savings to buy a drawing board and started teaching himself to draw. As he learned, he began creating fan-made manga. Yet Nituo didn't feel ashamed. He mentioned that in Japan, 80% of doujinshi artists got their start with this kind of work. And you know, this is Japan. Such things are easily accepted here. Between 2014 and 2015, Nituo published 2 doujinshi, selling over 2,000 copies and earning up to 930,000 yen. For a shut-in like him, that was enough to sustain him for a while. So, drawing was indeed the right choice. After earning 930,000 yen, Nituo felt that he couldn't just draw manga for the rest of his life. He needed to do something else, but he was still afraid to go to work. What else could he do while staying holed up at home? At this point, he saw the news that Unreal Engine was free to use. So, he decided to make games. Yes, you heard that right. He wanted to start making games by himself at home, but he didn't know how to program, nor did he understand modeling. What did he do? Learn by himself, just like he did with drawing. Nituo quickly immersed himself in learning programming and modeling. However, as soon as he opened the books, he was at a loss. They were all in English. I can't understand any of this, he thought. What could he do but continue learning, one step at a time? The story progresses to this point, where it's clear his education at the University of Tokyo wasn't in vain. Nituo taught himself programming first and became adept at using English on programmer websites. Modeling, on the other hand, was another mountain to climb. But was it really difficult for Nituo? After all, time was the one thing he had plenty of while shut away at home. As a top student at the University of Tokyo, he was highly disciplined. He rose at 10 a.m. every morning, ate breakfast at precisely 10:30, and was at his computer by 11 to browse the web. For lunch, he managed with frozen and canned food, even cooking extra vegetables to eat later. In the afternoon, game production began, and slowly but surely he made progress, methodically learning as he worked. The game he created is called Pull Stay. The protagonist is a shut-in robot, modeled after himself, using various tools to repel different strangers invading his home. You can turn office workers into fried shrimp with a frying pan, send karate masters flying with boxing gloves, or unleash unrivaled combos in the crowd with a lightsaber. The main goal is to ensure the protagonist never leaves home for work. However, during battles, you must also protect the shut-in's core, which is the character's most vulnerable spot. He's a timid egg afraid of going to work. On the other, he's a hero daring to face various challenges. At 7:30 p.m., Nituo takes a break. He exercises while studying English until around 10 p.m. Then, drawing a nighttime inspiration, he continues developing the game. Later on, he enjoys a simple dinner, wrapping up his day. On February 26, 2024, after 6 years of development, Nituo's game Pull Stay finally launched on the Steam platform, priced at $17. In just 1 month, it sold 1,000 copies, earning $17,000. This substantial income undoubtedly marked a significant success for Nituo. Although the game has only been online for 4 months, it has received overwhelming praise. Countless shut-ins around the world have been deeply moved by Nituo's game. While we don't know the exact number of copies sold, one of his interview videos on YouTube has garnered over 13 million views. If even a fraction of those viewers bought the game, his income would likely be enough to make his mocking neighbors eat their words. Currently, he is crowdfunding a brand new version of the game, slated for release in 2025. I wonder if everyone will be eager to buy and play it. This concludes the amazing story I wanted to share with you today. Though Nituo lives as a shut-in, his inner spirit has long since transcended his challenges. Step by step, he is moving towards his dreams and beyond.